Morning, everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're doing really, really well. So, has everybody noticed how Keir Starmer's gone out of the news cycle? How his failings, even the leadership challenge, the way that he failed in the local elections, it's all gone out of the news cycle. And he's limping on. And he's going to Prime Minister's Question Time. In fact, he's done this ever since all these scandals. He keeps going to Prime Minister's Question Times like nothing's happened. In fact, he's quite confident when he's going into Prime Minister's Question Times. I mean, the newspapers say, and the legacy media, they say, oh, he's having a right hammering in the House of Commons at Prime Minister's Question Times. And it's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. If we had a half-decent opposition that also wasn't a World Economic Forum stooge, because that's what Kemi Badenoch is. So let's have a look at this, right? Keir Starmer, World Economic Forum stooge, Fabian. Kemi Badenoch, World Economic Forum stooge, young new world leader. Yeah? Can you see the pattern now? Can you see the pantomime that's going on in our country? Where we're just led to believe, oh, you know, Keir Starmer's going to step down. It's like, no, he's not. No, he's not at all. There may have been rumours, but I think those rumours are crap. I think they're utter shite. This guy's going to limp on until the next general election. And it's worrying because if he can limp on after all these scandals, after all these, after everything that should have ended him as a Prime Minister, any other Prime Minister in history had any one of these scandals that Keir Starmer's had, it'd be history. Just one of these scandals. How many's had now? 21 scandals since being in office. 2 years. 2 years of being in office. Near 2.5. 21 scandals. Each one should have finished his career as Prime Minister and hasn't. I think it's a testament to how much backup and deep state help this man has. We know what his job is. His job is the managed decline of this country. And it's evident, it's just evident to see. And everything just keeps going on. And the fact that, right, this is something that really, really made my piss boil. It really did. Is the fact that Keir Starmer could come out and make a statement about the San Diego mosque shooting. And yet that young lad who was stabbed to death by diversity is our strength. You know what I mean? Not a word. In fact, you know what? I could count on one hand how many times Keir Starmer's come out and made a statement about victims of new arrivals to this country. Not a one. Not one. But he can take the time out of his day to send a statement. So can the Met Police, by the way. So can the Met Police. About a shooting thousands of miles away, but yet can't mention the countless deaths that are occurring in this country due to their opening of the borders and flooding this country with third worlders, dangerous third worlders. Nothing. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their narrative. Because if they were to mention the countless deaths that are occurring now from all these dangerous people that they've let into the country, then the whole diversity is our strength bollocks will just go straight out the window. Wouldn't it? I'm angry. Because it's all just a pantomime. When you've got a globalist controlled media that controls what information comes in and out of the news cycle, then that man is going to be in there till the next general election. We've got a weak opposition that just doesn't hold him to account. They should have nailed him to the wall on this by now. The opposition itself should have had him leaving. Every time he goes into those Prime Minister's Question Times, he should be squirming from their scathing questions. And he's not. He's laughing and he's joking. Because he knows as well as I do that the person sitting opposite in opposition is just as controlled as he is. And that's our problem. That's why we need a strong right-wing government getting into power. I want to get onto that as well, right? You know me, I believe in Restore Britain. I do. I believe they are our only hope to save this country. But we also need to be planning for the worst as well. Because given how controlled the establishment is, I don't know whether they could get in power. I don't know whether they rig an election to stop them getting into power. I don't know. But as Restore Britain rises, you can be assured that the deep state is going to be taking measures, maybe even planning right now, in ways to stop their momentum, stop them getting into power. So we have to prepare ourselves. We have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. This is why I keep telling people, build your communities, look after one another, because we're going to need them. Because things are going to get very, very difficult in this country for everyone. And we need to be, we can't afford to be looking at everything with sunshine, flowers and rainbows. This country is in very real trouble. And help is 3 years away, if it comes at all. I'm hoping Restore Britain can win the Makerfield by-election, because then at least we'll have another Restore MP in Parliament, along with Rupert Lowe, fighting the good cause. I do believe in Restore Britain, but I'm also a realist. I also know that we have to prepare, maybe, for the worst. Because I've got to admit, guys, nothing at this point would surprise me. Nothing would surprise me. We've got an establishment that's dirty, it's corrupt, and it will do anything to keep its power. And if it sees Rupert Lowe as a potential threat, which is now what they do, then they're going to do everything. They're going to throw everything at it, whether it be in the news media or behind the scenes, to stop that from happening. They're too close to achieving their goal to allow Rupert Lowe to come in via democratic means and destroy all their good work. That's what worries me. That's what's got me worried right now. That's why we have to grow the movement. We have to grow the Restore movement. We have to make the next general election so big they can't rig it. That's what we have to do. That's why we have to wake everybody up and get absolutely every single person out voting, whether it be in Makersfield or the next general election or any other by-election coming up, where we can hopefully get a Restore Britain MP into power. That's what we need to do. Rupert Lowe's got his beachhead in Great Yarmouth. Now he has to start forming a beachhead in government, in Parliament, getting his MPs in there. That's what he has to do. And I think that's the battle plan going forward. I think he realises that. Rupert's not stupid. He knows what's going on. He's had 2 years in Parliament, so he knows what goes on behind the scenes. He knows how corrupt it is. That's why I believe that he started Restore Britain as a political party, because he realised that he couldn't change it on his own. I think he did. I think he believed at first he could form a cross-party coalition, but I think he realises just how deep the rot, the corruption actually goes in Parliament and the establishment and the civil service. And that's why he started Restore Britain. But like I said, we have to hope for the best and plan for the worst. Form communities, form alliances with other groups around the country, form networks. Information is key. Information is firepower. That's what you need to do. There may be a time when we can't talk on the internet. Every day we become more and more censored in this country. I mean, some people were talking about it yesterday. These new laws that have come in regarding the policing, where now you can be banned from a protest or anything really, an area, simply because you cause a nuisance. And it's civil, it's not criminal. If they regard you as a nuisance where you've upset some people, you could be banned from a protest now. That due process, no due process, just banned. We're getting more and more communistic every single day. Our rights are being stripped away from us every single day. It's getting worrying. It's getting worrying. Let's just say that. We just have to be strong in our resolve and keep pushing forward. That's why I said in my video yesterday, I've got no time for petty drama. I've got no time for petty arguments with people anymore. Getting back this country is the sole mission of this channel now. And if that means I have to promote other people's voices, other groups, contact me. My email is in my bio. If you want to be promoted, if you've got local groups of patriots that need promoting, tell me about it. I'll promote them in my live streams, in my videos. I'll get the word out. We need to grow these movements. We need to grow these groups. If there's anybody in Chesterfield, my hometown, that has a group, tell me about it. I'll promote you. I'll get you out there. I'll spread the word. We've got to become a vast network of information, bypassing normal channels. That's what we have to do now. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, adapt and overcome. Those are going to be the new mottos. They really are, in the coming weeks, the coming days, coming months, the years. We're going to be in the fight for our lives. We're fighting for our right to exist. That's what it boils down to, everybody. That's where we are right now. Anyway, I've rambled enough. This is Vindicator. Sign off.